Will Jeff Bezos become the world's first trillionaire in about 10, 15 or 20 years? Many people have been speculating that he'll become the first trillionaire. And basically the reason why some people believe he will become the first trillionaire is if Amazon's stock price merely goes up by a certain percentage, and it doesn't have to be a huge percentage, it could be about 20% per year. Bezos will become a trillionaire by X and Y date. Even if it's 5 or 10%, he'll become a billionaire by X and Y date. Now, the obvious point to make is nobody knows. Although what I would say is historically in the stock market, yesterday's winners are usually tomorrow's losers and vice versa. Outperformance doesn't last forever. GE was once so big that the US government thought about actually breaking them up. Then, of course, the US government needed to bail them out in 2008, 2009. Likewise, Apple, as recently as the mid-90s, almost went out of business. So if Amazon do outperform consistently for the next 20, 30, 40 years, we'll be talking about something which historically in capitalism is completely out of the ordinary in terms of maintaining outperformance. Even companies like Coca-Cola, which albeit are nowhere near as big as Amazon now, but they've stayed in the game for a very, very long time. Even that is unusual. But if Amazon just keep going from strength to strength and they keep their number one position for a very long time, it'll be very, very unusual. That doesn't mean it won't happen with Bezos. And indeed, we might be getting to the extent where we are moving to a different world because we're moving to a digital world, regardless of whether Amazon's the number one company in the world, number 3, 5, 7, more and more money will go to those digital companies like Zoom, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and so on. However, there will also be a lot of forces pushing against that. For example, there might be increasing calls, for example, to break up Amazon in the US political system. Also, there will be sooner or later other competitors. And likewise, it's just natural that companies can become a bit arrogant or lose their way after so many decades, at the top. So don't assume that yesterday's winners or today's winners will be tomorrow's winners. However, finally, I'd like to say a lot of the media narratives about Bezos and Amazon are very misleading because, for example, when Amazon stocks go up by 10%, the media put out headlines like, Bezos has made, and they actually say made. Sometimes they put it in inverted commas, but sometimes they don't. He's made $16 million or $1 billion, or he's lost. Like during the crisis in March, a lot of the media said, he's lost X and Y amount. But in reality, most of his wealth is tied up in Amazon stock. So about 16% of Amazon stock is owned by Bezos. So a more, or let's say a less misleading headline would be Amazon stock went up by 10% today. So Jeff Bezos's paper wealth has gone up by 16 billion. Or Amazon stock has gone down by 10% today. So Bezos has seen a decline in his wealth. But a decline and a loss and an increase and a gain are very different. And wealth and income are also very different. Bezos' income is actually not the highest in the world, even though his wealth is the highest in the world. And of course, if the whole economy was ever to collapse, it's not like Bezos owns half of the world. But the way the media talk about these things, like saying, X and Y billionaire is worth more than this small country or whatever, is very misleading. And I saw an article a month or two ago saying, I think it's from The Guardian in the UK, which said, never let a crisis go to waste, the billionaires or something like that. And it was clearly a very misleading article because number one, Bezos was worth more, I think sometime last year than he was now, but his wealth went down after he got divorced. And number two, again, it's just a case of Amazon stock going up from the start of the year and especially from the very worst of the crisis. But the article was really trying to say, you got this, I wouldn't say evil guy, but you know what I mean, this really wealthy guy who's benefiting whilst all these people are getting poorer. But in reality, it's very misleading the way those articles caricature wealth of very rich people. In the same way that when these people see a decline in their wealth, in reality, all it is is the stock market price fluctuating, right? If you go on to Google now and you click on Amazon stock price live, and you see that the stock price has gone up by 2% today or down by 2%, that doesn't mean Bezos' income has gone up or down by 2%. It's just paper wealth going up or down. And it's only when he sells a percentage of his stock that he would actually realize that gain.